Alright, let's see if we can get this stream lasting longer than 40 fucking seconds. Oh my goodness, that is frustrating beyond frustrating. Okay. Just reading the thing. Oh, I tried to stream yesterday, but ran into the same problem. Internet just decided to go out. I think it just might be too cold outside, and I think that's what it is, because this has happened before, and it's really pretty goddamn ridiculous that this happens so much. Also could be my computer, likely my computer. I would say it's a good toss-up. However, come space, that's neither here nor there, as long as the stream kind of stays up. I got the settings down a little bit, so maybe we can at least, if we don't have if we don't lose the stream, we might you know what I'm trying to say. Might drop some frames. That's what I was trying to say. Go away. Okay. So last time I was looking at the New Yorker footage. I don't really know how far into that I got. I kind of want to look at like the end of it, because I know I didn't get to the end of it, and then we'll talk about like the security at the inauguration and shit, and the preparations that they're going through, and all the stuff that's kind of come out. And I know I'm not on screen because I just want this picture of my sweet puppy dog to stay up, to be admired. F's in the chat or the comments for Guy. Excuse me. Yeah, I found him just roaming the streets, and drove up, opened the door, and he hopped right in. And a little more details to that. I think I said it last time, but yeah, he passed away. Poor guy. He had cancer. Wasn't doing so hot. So, but yeah. Anyway, F's for Guy. I love you, buddy. He's my buddy boy. To the void with us. Display capture. That was actually kind of cool. It like collapsed. Alright, so I wanted to go to like the ass end of this, because this has been covered. Ugh, these assholes praying, the fucking BDU patterns. It's hilarious. Peace and harmony. You just fucking killed a police officer and stormed the Capitol. Riders were escorted out of the building. Party of law and order. Party of law and order, folks. That's all loud. I think I remember watching this. I've seen a decent amount of this, so it's hard to tell how far through I got. The best we got? They should have probably opened fire, and you guys would have fucked off a lot faster. Just take the other video down, probably. That's all they got! What the fuck? Let's go! Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember watching this. Flashbang. Boom. It's wild. Like, these cops aren't. I just noticed this. So when you're pushing people back in like a riot control situation, crowd control like that, the police with the batons, you should be like, if you have a shield, I don't know if they had a shield or not, but you should be like smacking people on like the shoulders and the arms, trying not to get them in the head, obviously. Some of those people have helmets. Smack their fucking helmet. It'll take it. Like, get them the fuck out of there. It's ridiculous. They're goddamn ridiculous. And that's what you get. I love this. I fucking love this. Dude, that's thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment that easily, I would have just been like, yeah, it's the chaos. I'll take a fucking box like this that just says AP on it. That'd be pretty cool to have. Just, oh yeah, I was fucking at the riots, but got this box. I was gonna give it back to the AP, but then I turned it into a fucking footstool for pooping. Ice like jams up in the neck of this thing. Oh, that's so sweet. Ugh. I like this mango stuff. It's not good. This is hilarious. These fucking guys. Whoa. Yeah, because the Associated Press doesn't have more camera equipment. They're not a multi-million-dollar fucking corporation that makes all of their money on news and reporting and video. It's pronounced guillotine, by the way.
Even if it kills you, remain a free man. Die on your feet. Live on your knees.
Yeah, you motherfuckers. I have a feeling. Okay. Oh. If this chick weren't like nutso, I guess. I wonder if she's like, that's her shit. These two are just like sort of standing there. I wonder if they're connected. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's that. We've seen that. Let's talk about what their how one comment started the downfall. I might watch this later. I'm not really a big surfs guy. The White House. Farewell address of President Donald J. Trump. Fuck you. We'll watch that in a second. Okay, well, this is terrifying. We're going to go to this, and then we're going to go back to that other thing. Oh, my God.
Let's talk about security. Let's bring in NBC News' Pete Williams, who has some breaking news for us. Pete, what do you got?
So the question we've been looking at today is whether some members of the National Guard have been relieved of duty after the vetting process.
Roughly
the AP reported this morning that 2 members of the Guard were relieved after vetting found some troubling connections with
I heard,
radical extremist views.
It was like,
what we're told, though, is members of the National Guard have been relieved of duty, but that it's what we're told, though, is actually the number is about a dozen members of the National Guard have been relieved of duty, but that it's not because of a concern about extremist views. According to people I've talked to, the vetting basically went in sort of 2 directions. One is looking at routine criminal background history. Any kind of hits of troubling information there would have resulted in this decision. And secondly, an analysis of looking at what other guardsmen were saying about what they heard people making troubling comments. And so the Guards' attitude was simply, you know, let's just have zero tolerance. We might as well just, take no chances and move these people.
I'm glad they're doing this. I am 100% glad they're doing this. Tim Pool's dumbass. That's what I wanted to look up. Tim Pool. Oh, Tim Pool. The beanie. God. National Guard's removed. Detainment. I think this is the one. 30-minute. I'm not watching a whole 30-minute fucking segment from this jackass.
Washington, D.C. is currently under some kind of military occupation.
I
and that's
wonder
not hyperbole.
why.
There's checkpoints basically everywhere.
Yep.
You have to show your papers to prove you're justified in conducting legitimate business in the area. And there are
Sounds
around
about right.
25 to now 30,000 National Guard Many of them are holding rifles that are not loaded for seemingly unknown reasons, I suppose. Journalist Michael Trey.
The rifles aren't loaded because they're at a certain status. Okay? Let's tilt it way up. You have I forget exactly what it's called. So you have your row, you have your rules of engagement, and the rules of engagement, from what I'm hearing right now, is it's just basically you're there as a presence. And these guys definitely have ammo, but they're not going to have their magazine in. They're not going to have the weapons loaded because of the message that it sends to just regular people. You don't want to instill that fear into people, but you want to show that you're there and you're ready just in case anything happens. And so you don't need to be fully loaded all the time, all right? Already we're off to Tim Pool doesn't understand how the military works.
No one really has any idea why DC is facing such a strict lockdown. I know that many will say we just had the riots at the Capitol and there's concerns over maybe some mass unrest. But
yeah, that's pretty much what everyone would say, except for Tim Pool and the Timcast fucking followers that apparently can't understand the fact that there was a goddamn riot, an armed insurrection, and there have been multiple threats towards officials in DC and DC, like on DC itself, on the Capitol building, and the lawmakers therein. But does it really
warrant this massive of a presence?
Yes.
Something strange is going on. And it may turn out to be nothing. There may just be an inauguration tomorrow and we carry on with our lives. There's probably going to be political tensions escalating in the near future. Or something entirely different is happening. Maybe it's a show of force. Maybe they're trying to say, if you mess with us, this is what we will do.
Yes.
I honestly have no idea.
That's one of the things.
But I can tell.
That's one of the things you have to show your presence. All right. One of the things we did in Iraq was presence patrols. And you would go around and you'd just be kind of like looking for shit. And you would show that you were there. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're showing that you're there ready to kick ass and, bust everybody's head in. But you're there to help out. So you go and you might do a presence patrol in a neighborhood, but you're handing out water and MREs and stuff like that at the same time. And then that way, when you come through again, because there might be some shit going down, those people will be like, it might be more beneficial to me to like tell the Americans where somebody went. But it still shows that your presence is there. You're still armed. They're still not gonna fuck with you unless they really want to fuck with you. And that's what they're preparing for, is the people who want to actually like fuck with them.
There is fear among Democrats. One Democratic rep said, because these are mostly straight white men. Well, I think he said white men. And they're military, so they tend to be conservative. They are suspect and must be vetted. Here's the breaking news. Okay. In the vetting process, they found two Army National Guard members
Democratic
tied to right-wing
lawmaker
groups
that could be
who have now been removed
from where?
From
what Democratic lawmaker made that statement? Because that could be like the county fucking, I don't know, be like the town mayor or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Local government is what I'm trying to say. This is a good thing that they're doing,
to secure the Biden inauguration. Maybe it's the right thing, maybe it's the wrong thing, maybe they shouldn't have been there in the first place, but why is a Democratic rep coming out and saying the risk is because they are white men?
Never mind.
And we know that white men really didn't vote for Biden, therefore.
Yeah, but it was mostly white men that were, storming the fucking Capitol looking to kill representatives and senators. So, I mean, they kind of gotta...
Suspect. That's the name of the game, huh?
I don't know
Things
many black people that are also white supremacists. And there was a lot of white supremacists at that riot, so then maybe they want
is under this military occupation.
Put two and two together.
And now we have this strange article from Vice that says Parler GPS shows people posting from
2 minutes
military
in, and
bases.
this guy sucks ass.
What is happening? When you have Democrats
you
coming out
so
telling us
dumb?
not to trust the National Guard, when they're saying it's a problem that someone was using Parler from a military base, so what?
Yes.
Or when Cuomo goes on CNN and...
Okay, so look at me. Look at me. Look me in the face. Look me in the eyeballs. Right here. Just trying to making sure the stream's still going. Look me in the eyes. Social media will ruin your military career. Full stop. If you think posting shit on Facebook is a good idea while you're wearing this uniform or any other uniform of the United States military, if you think posting like dumb shit or threatening stuff on Facebook isn't going to come and bite you in the ass and completely fuck your military career, you are 100% wrong. It doesn't have to be Parler, it doesn't have to be Gab, it doesn't have to be, I don't know, whatever left-wing site there would be. I don't know, 4chan or whatever. I don't even know what, I've never been on 4chan. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could just be Twitter or Facebook, and you just have to say, like, for instance, back in the day when I was, I think when I was in Kuwait, there was this Air Force NCO, and this woman was like talking on her, made a viral video, or made a video and went viral because she didn't know how to deal with her soldiers, and she was taking it out on them because they were black women. She was like, I don't know how to deal with these black women. Like it seems like they're ganging up on me, and it's just like a constant problem throughout and all this shit. That totally fucked her. Like, completely. I mean, she lost her position, she lost rank probably, she probably got extra duty, might have gotten discharged. It will ruin your military career. They watch this shit because that kind of rhetoric, the kind of shit that spreads on Parler, that white supremacist neo-Nazi bullshit that they spread around, breaks down the cohesion that our military so relies on. All right? That's why this is important. That's why they do it. You give up a lot of shit, a lot of your rights when you join the military.
Insane.
Why?
I know a lot of people wanted to claim that nothing like this was going to happen. And they would tell me all the time that I was being hyperbolic for just bringing up the possibility of some kind of conflict. But you tell me this. What do you call it? When there is a fear among Democrats that members of our armed forces will attack the incoming presidential inauguration, and thus several members had to be removed, and all have to be vetted. Loyalty tests to make sure.
Considering the context of the last several months, I would say it's common sense, not just fear.
They're not suspect. This is crazy stuff.
No,
Tensions are getting
not,
way too
actually.
high. And there's real concerns that
You've been
members
stoking.
of our own National
This
Guard
dude's wanted a civil
would
war
turn
like
on
all
our
year.
presidential inauguration. Well, friends,
He's been pushing for a civil war.
there
forever.
were active duty
What an asshole.
armed service personnel arrested following the riots at the Capitol building. One, I believe, was a National Guardsman. Trying times. And I can't tell you what will...
So there's a difference there. So he says there were two active duty soldiers that were arrested. He goes, I think one of them was a guardsman. That's different, because if you're in the National Guard, you're not active duty unless you take on what's called like an AGR role, which is called, it stands for Active Guard and Reserve, in which you are still in, say, the Ohio or New York National Guard, but you work full time with them. You drill full time, so 9 to 5 every day, plus whatever drills and stuff you have to do. Oh, sorry, my nose is really itchy right now because it's really dry in here, and that's the only way you would be active. And I could see that in the Capitol, but I'm just saying that he doesn't understand that because he's so inept at describing anything that has to do with military operations.
We'll see tomorrow, but the conspiracy theories once again are a-flying. Let's take a look at what happened with these National Guardsmen and why, and what this Democrat is saying, why he's pointing out that it's, you know, about being white men,
conspiracy theories a lot, but you're never going to hear
Guard
him
is being deployed,
talk about like
and I believe 30 cities, maybe even states, over fears of some kind of action to take place on Inauguration Day. I hope tomorrow goes off. You know, look, I talk about how life is boring. I hope it stays that way. We want a little bit of adventure. We want a little bit of conflict, but for the most part, we want to just get by and have everything stay calm. No violence. So I hope tomorrow.
No violence. Has 60 plus videos egging on a civil war. I know this for a pseudo fact, I guess. Semi fact, because I was watching Hannah Reloaded earlier. That's how I found this video. And she had somebody in her audience that tallied up all the times he basically called for a civil war, and it was like 60 something different videos over the last year that he's been saying this shit. So you're part of the problem, Tim.
Let's read the news. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com if you would like to become a member and support my work. We are trying very hard to get as many people as possible for the outcome of the vetting process for military members supporting the inauguration. The Secret Service told the AP on Monday it would not comment on if any National Guard members had been pulled from securing the inauguration for operational security reasons. Yep. Such a move is not without precedent. They say over the summer, an Ohio National Guard member was removed from the mission in Washington, D.C. after the FBI uncovered information indicating they expressed white supremacist ideology on the internet prior to the assignment. The individual was a soldier from the Ohio Guards Company C, 1st Battalion, 148th Infantry Regiment, based in the northwest part of the state. The soldier was a private first class who had been a member since May 2018, said Ohio Guard spokeswoman Stephanie Bower in a statement.
2018. Okay, that kind of tracks with. If you joined since in 2018 as like an E-nothing, he probably should be like a specialist by now. Actually, definitely should be a specialist by now. So the kid's probably kind of a fuck up. I'm just saying, he should be one rank higher because they're automatic
external
promotions.
And internal. Sunday night, the AP reported the U.S. defense officials say they are worried about an insider attack or other threat from service members involved in securing President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, prompting the FBI to vet all of the 25,000 National Guard troops coming into Washington for the event. And while the military routinely reviews service members for extremist connections, the FBI screening is in addition to any previous monitoring. National Guard troops are filling the Capitol, as well as many around the nation, because of threats by right-wing extremist groups still loyal to President Donald Trump in the wake of the deadly January 6th Capitol siege and ahead of the planned Biden inauguration. But let me stop you right there. The Boogaloo Boys who came out at many of the state capitals don't like Donald Trump, criticize the Proud Boys as bootlicking statist cucks. I don't think those that are actually coming out for protest, these anti-government types, I don't think that they're actually pro-Trump.
Are you shitting me, dude? So, all of those people, we can go back to that video. Let's just go back to it. Let's go back and show fuck Tim Pool what a dipshit he is. Come on, Tim Pool. Come on. I don't think any of these people are pro-Trump. I don't think any of these. Well, he's talking about, like, let's see.
The AP reported the U.S. defense the Capitol, as well as many of the state capitals, don't siege and ahead of the planned Biden inauguration. But let me stop you right there. The Boogaloo Boys who came out at many of the state capitals don't like Donald Trump, criticize the Proud Boys as bootlicking statist cucks. I don't think those that are actually coming out for protest, these anti-government types, I don't think that they're actually pro-Trump.
Are you fucking sure about that? I knew he said something stupid. I just wanted to double make sure how fucking stupid he was. Hey, Tim Pool. Hey, buddy boy.
Defend your liberty! Defend your
Do any of these people look pro-Trump to you? Any of you guys think these people look pro-Trump? Let's see. That guy's got a Trump cape on. Let's see. Let's see if there's anybody else that's a little... that looks pro-Trump. I wonder. That's a Trump flag. These are MAGA hats that they're praying over. I don't know, man. A lot of these motherfuckers look like they're pro-Trump. Yeah, all those folks yelling "fuck the blue."
There are a lot of people who are pro-Trump, but I've not seen anything to suggest they're actually going to go out. In fact, if you actually look at the Donald Trump forums, they're telling people to stay home. That's the core message. They say, with one...
There's a difference between telling people to stay home and telling people to lay low. I'm pretty sure if I went there, it would be telling, the people, hey, if you were at that, if you were at the insurrection, you better lay low. Stay home. Don't go anywhere. Hang on 1 second. Actually, don't hang on 1 second. Never mind.
One Virginia National Guard soldier and many veterans among the scores of arrested in the wake of the Capitol siege that saw 5 people die, including Brian Sicknick, an Air Force veteran and Capitol police officer. The military was taking no chances with who was coming to protect the inauguration. Quote, all incoming National Guard members supporting the DCNG, local and federal authorities, go through a credentialing process, said Air Force Major Matt Murphy, a National Guard Bureau spokesman. Murphy would not elaborate on what kind of screening, but said the information is shared with the requesting federal agencies and added to their database. We cannot speak for those agencies and how they use information. On Saturday, Defense One reported that all...
He talks like... or maybe he just reads slow, because he tries to talk fast like Ben Shapiro, but he doesn't do it well.
All Guard troops coming to D.C. go through a screening
it's so
that is
easy
about
to pick
the
apart
same as the standard background check that guardsmen go through when they initially enlist. The commanding general of the D.C. National Guard told Defense One in an interview on Saturday it is intended as another layer of security on top of continuous monitoring of the force, he said. Now, we saw this story from the AP that the FB was going to be vetting all of these troops over a fear of an insider attack. And let me stress this.
I feel like is this a... Okay, I guess it might be. Yeah.
They're actually scared.
I was going to say,
no actionable
this might be an old picture that says the
active duty
ACU
National
uniform.
Guardsmen would what? Turn on their fellow guardsmen?
Yeah.
I think that's
totally
absurd.
Possible.
The real issue is whether or not...
It's not absurd. All right. Here's how I can explain this, because right-wingers like Tim Pool love to live in this like movie world. You ever seen the movie what is it? Fucking Contact? What is that? It's not Signs. I've seen Signs. The movie with the sticks that appear all over and the aliens with the ink blobs. A ink blob. Let's see. Arrival. Fucking love you, Google. Please don't steal my information. In Arrival, all right, there's a scene in Arrival where a bunch of soldiers take it upon themselves to drive down to the spaceship or whatever the hell it is, and go into the and they kill the guards, and then they're gonna like send a bomb up into there. So like it and that's to show that people will do that if their ideology is strong enough. They will create a threat to everyone by being just a small group and doing something as stupid as like trying to blow up a fucking alien spaceship, which is some dumb dumbass idea Tim Cast would fucking come up with. I kind of lost my train of thought, but like, that's it. No, it's totally possible that you could have the lone wolf asshole that just is there, the guy that's there and is going to, fuck over his buddies. He's gonna maybe have one or two little nut hangers for support, and then that's it. And usually that person is either going to die or, get arrested. And if they get arrested, then they'll be charged in like a military court and go to fucking Leavenworth, and it will not be fun for them ever in their entire life, ever again. Especially if they end up killing someone,
in my
like
opinion,
a representative.
A commanding officer tells these people to do something. Some people have messaged me saying, Tim, you don't understand how the Guard works, or you don't understand how the Army works. I've had a lot of people tell me in super chats on the IRL podcast saying things like, if I was given unlawful orders, I would disobey them.
Yeah, Tim, you have no idea how the military operates. You have no clue. I mean, I run into people that have friends in the military and have never served themselves, and when they talk to me about something, I can kind of correct them, like, yeah, it's pretty much that's what they're on track with what they said to you, but it's kind of more like this, Tim has so little understanding of how the military works that it like hurts my brain. It gives me a fucking headache, because someone who's like this, who I think he's super into guns, he's definitely far right. Someone like this, who probably loves the military, at least he says he does, should know at least some of this knowledge, should have some of this knowledge of like how soldiers work, how military culture works. It's not like a fucking movie where it's not like Arrival where someone's just going to take a truck and go and kill some people, all right? And like there's going to be an officer that's just like, go and kill, my company, go and take over this building and, do as I say. Eventually people understand, like the soldiers will understand, hey, these are unlawful orders. Like once they figure out, oh shit, this dude's saying we have to like kill regular Americans, or like we're not defending anything, we're the aggressors, then everything can go to shit and more people die. God.
Some people have told me they have. Here's my question for you. If you were ordered to stand guard on a street corner with an unloaded rifle, would you do it? The answer is yes, of course they would. Here's a tweet from Michael Tracy. He says, asked the guardsmen why they are standing around with unloaded rifles. Quote, I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told.
Yeah, I'd say the same fucking thing to you. Hey, why y'all standing around? I don't fucking know.
Now, I can't expect all of these guardsmen to know exactly what's going on and why. But I think this shows exactly what I've said in the past. If they were really given an unlawful order, but they weren't given the context around that order and it sounded lawful, they would do it. It's that simple. Now, there's probably challenges in, trying to tell them to shoot at somebody for sure. The rifles are unloaded. They're standing around. They're standing guard. Why? What's happening tomorrow? The inauguration. Does it really warrant 25,000 or more, like technically armed National Guardsmen?
Yes, absolutely it does. And they definitely have ammo. They just don't have ammo in their weapons for what I said before. And it looks like these folks are doing a checkpoint. You've got a couple police cars here, some folks turning in. Yeah, if I were either of these guys standing there and you came up to me and you said, hey, what are you guys doing? I wouldn't tell you what the fuck I'm doing. Security, bro. Like, what does it look like we're doing? I'm standing guard.
I don't know. Maybe there's some intelligence we don't have access to.
I am guarding the nation because I am the National Guard.
Or perhaps,
like, that's the simplest way to put it. And Tim Pool can't even figure that one out. What are they doing? They're just They're just blindly following orders. Yeah, because they volunteered for the National Guard, so they're kind of guarding the nation by, preventing people from wanting to come and commit violent acts in the Capitol. Like
Perhaps
you want
they
them
just
to,
will
you
do what
fucking
they're told.
douche.
The issue I often bring up is that, for all we know, this is the military coup. It would look exactly like this. And these guardsmen are standing around D.C. shutting down the federal jurisdiction. It's the federal jurisdiction. And they don't know why they're doing it.
No, dude, they know why they're doing it. They just don't want to give this dude the time of day because they understand the sensitivity of their operations. Tim Pool is basically shitting on the military right now. He's basically saying that these dudes are too stupid to figure out why the fuck they're there. He's saying that these two poor chaps from bumfuck nowhere, got their third grade education, decided to, suit up at 18 and fucking come out to the Capitol. No, these are competent Americans and competent soldiers. They know why they're there. They're just not willing to give this dude the time of day. You're too dumb to understand that the National Guard does this kind of thing when people like you and Donald Trump egg on fucking riots, and then those riots happen. This is what happens when you egg on violence, when you promote violence, you call for violence. This is what happens.
I'm
when
sure
you
some
support
do know
an
why.
armed insurrection,
and I'm sure some are satisfied
this is
with
what
the answer they've been given
happens.
to guard the inauguration. These guys don't know what they're doing.
Whoopsie.
They're just doing what they're told, and that's typical. But what if the orders coming are nefarious or malicious? They wouldn't know. And that's
No, it's pretty easy to tell when your orders are malicious. Are there going to be a ton of soldiers that just blindly follow? Fuck yeah. Contrary to what I said, a lot of soldiers are kind of dumb and just do that. And mob mentality exists here too. It's just, soldiers tend to be a lot more organized than, that have a mission and a plan, unlike the Trump mob. So, like, I don't understand why he thinks
it's a
soldiers.
real challenge because
This is another thing. This is common in like almost every right winger and conservative that I know. They think that soldiers, service members, are just like robots. That they're not actual human beings. No, you want a thinking human being, because a thinking human being can make rational decisions about the situation that they're in and be able to communicate those decisions and solutions and identified problems to other members of their group in order to successfully accomplish a mission. That was words.
should they? I mean, there are certainly there are certain circumstances where you don't need to know more if there's nothing else to know. Hey, there's some threats we're concerned about. We don't know what's going to happen, but just stand guard here and vet people to make sure only approved, people who like live and work here are coming in. That's a good enough reason for most people. But what if the real reason was that they're trying to lock down and stop the inauguration from happening and basically take D.C. for Donald Trump? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't think so. I think tomorrow will go off without a hitch.
Dude, the military isn't homogenized in like thought. Okay? If the military were basically like homogenized in thought and ideology, insofar as like political leanings and stuff like that, then we would definitely know about it. But you're gonna have plenty of people that are left wing, like myself, serving right next to a guy that is more than happy to put up a fucking Confederate flag. Is it gonna piss off the black dude across the way? Probably. Well, that's why we have a rule. Don't fucking put up Confederate flags. It's a fucking hate symbol in the military, in some places as far as I know. It might actually be like across the military. I don't know. But it is offensive to some people. Whatever.
Pitch, and I hope so.
He uses
certainly.
the brave brows.
But they wouldn't know.
I can't use that.
If
They won't let me
Donald Trump
sign
put in
him.
a secret order, and the Pentagon said, "Stand here and don't let anyone through," anyone, and that helped Trump, these guys would not know. That's the big issue. But I'm not saying it's they're
huge misconception about like the powers of the president, because you were saying, okay, there's a difference between a lawful and an unlawful order. Like if I were the NCO, if I'm the sergeant and these are my two privates, I can't tell orange guy to punch a big mask guy in the face. That's an unlawful order because it causes undue harm onto another service member. That's an unlawful order, and he should rightfully disobey that. So if Donald Trump says to the Joint Chiefs, let's say, hey, we're gonna organize this big thing to keep me in power, unless all of those individuals are on board with that, it's not gonna happen, because it takes one of them to disobey and be like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that, and then the whole thing would go to shit. Because if it's like, because if whoever's in, like, let's say whoever's in charge of the Air Force decides, well, I'm not loyal to Trump, screw this, like, ground all the planes, so that takes the air superiority out. Well, maybe there's some Trump loyalists in the Air Force at that point. Well, maybe some of them go in the air. Well, it's a breakdown. It'll just eat, that breakdown in the Air Force would then just eat into the other branches at that point, and it would downfall just slower. Basically, Trump isn't a king. He's not a dictator as much as you guys want him to be. He can't just wave his hand and say the troops will do this and then they just blindly obey. They're not fucking robots. They're human beings, Tim. That's why it's important not to send them to shitty fucking dumbass fucking extended forever wars that make no sense and do nothing but bring bodies home and send money out. Get the fuck here. Get the fuck out of here.
Their fault or anything. I don't know exactly what you do and how you deal with a situation like this. I can only point out the absurdity of having 25,000 guards in D.C.
Not absurd.
Now I'll tell you what really freaks me out. This story from Yahoo News. Democratic rep says pro-Trump guardsmen are suspect, should be vetted as potential threat. Okay,
Yeah,
well, they're getting vetted,
sure.
calm down. But wait, why are they suspect?
Because they're pro-Trump and a bunch of Trumpists just stormed the Capitol. I know you don't like that fact, but that's why that happened. This is why he's saying that. Okay? He's right to say this. He says, hey, they could be a potential threat. Are all pro-Trump guardsmen a potential threat? No. Did everyone that voted for Trump is everyone that voted for Trump a potential threat? No. They just happen to fall into a category that's very closely lined up with people that tend to be threats. Like, Trumpists that storm the Capitol. Oh, Tim, your brain is so small.
National Guard troops will be deployed
is his
to secure
brain
the inauguration. Well,
does he have to wear the beanie because his brain is like too small to heat itself? So it just like it can't stay toasty, so he has to have the beanie on. That's my theory on the
25,000 now, but it's beyond that. Check this out.
hypothesis.
National Guard activated in 30 states. I was wrong. It's 30 states over fears of inauguration violence.
Yeah, from Trumpists.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
They're scared the National Guard's going to go rogue, and they're deploying them in 30 states? I don't buy it. I don't think they're really worried about the National Guard, though they did remove 2 of them. Maybe they are. Newsweek reports at least 30 states across the country are activating National Guard.
Okay. Genius. There have been threats of violence for every state capital. All right? 30 is an extremely high number of states that want to deploy National Guard troops, okay? Those states may not have the resources to vet all of these people within, the next 24 hours, less than 24 hours. So, yeah, they're taking a risk on, there might be some Trumpist fucks there, but they're worried that their capital is going to be fucking stormed and people are going to die. Innocent people are going to die. That's what they're worried about. Because armed protests are planned at every state capital by the people you have egged on to take over the government and cause a civil war for the last fucking year and a half, dude. I don't even know. I've barely watched Tim Pool, but every time I hear about him, he's egging on a civil war, or he's inflaming some kind of violence, or he's flip-flopping on some dumb shit that's so easy to pick apart. My poor, uneducated fucking ass can easily do it in 45 minutes of a fucking 30-minute video. Eat shit, Tim Pool. You suck.
Guard troops with the FBI warning armed protests are being planned at all state capitals this week.
The military.
As of this morning, Tuesday,
please do not.
30 states have activated National Guard troops, totaling at least 6,675 across those states. In support of D.C., there are more than 25,000 in and around the Capitol. The preparation comes days before President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, and almost 2 weeks after the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol that left 5 people dead. Last week, the FBI warned that armed protests could take place at state capitals across the U.S. ahead of Biden's inauguration on January 20th. According to an internal FBI bulletin reported by the AP, they could take place. No actual evidence that any will.
Oh, no, just, the fact that these people love to fucking go out and protest, and it's almost like they have nothing to do. It's almost like most of these people are out of a job. I wonder why that could be. Maybe it's the virus that they're all spreading around and, gonna kill each other with. And, that's another thing.
Quote,
how is the new Confederacy going to inoculate its population? One, tons of them don't want it. 2, probably just won't have a supply. And 3, they won't have any of the infrastructure for distribution that they think they have. So, good luck, guys.
As of 10 January, armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals from 16 January through at least 20 January. And at the U.S. Capitol from the 17th of January to the 20th, the bulletin said. Law enforcement say they have identified a number of threats from pro-Trump extremists who are preparing to storm the state, local, and federal government courthouses and administrative buildings over false claims the election was stolen. From California to Michigan, dozens of states will be bolstering security, including some declaring states of emergency and summoning the National Guard in order to subdue any potential violence. Now, I've not heard of any of these protests. And like I mentioned...
Holy shit. Your job is the news. I get news on my phone, dude. I get news at work and read, headlines and halves of articles when I can. And this was one of the biggest things directly after the insurrection. Immediately after the insurrection, this story came out of armed protests are being planned at all 50 capitals, or all 50 state capitals. And you haven't heard of this. Tim, you're a fucking liar. You're lying. That's all you are. You're just a fucking liar. Eat shit, dude. You're not to be trusted now, ever. Suck my ass.
I've only seen Trump supporters disavowing them. But if there really are fringe, crazy people
What do you look in the mirror and you're like, I disavow this. And then you're like, that's Trump supporters, because I have a mirror behind me too. So I have infinite Trump supporters saying, I disavow this. Fuck you,
and some
Tim
kind of
Pool.
violent assault, then I hope the National Guard is prepared. I hope we have security. And it's a shame that people have taken this far. Listen, sometimes Michigan, dozens of states will be bolstering security,
really
including some declaring states of emergency and summoning the National Guard in order to subdue any potential violence. Now, I've not heard of any of these protests. And like I mentioned, I've only seen Trump supporters disavowing them. But if there really are fringe, crazy people who are planning on some kind of violent assault, then I hope the National Guard is prepared. I hope we have security. And it's a shame that people have taken this far. Listen.
That little statement, I hope the National Guard is prepared. I hope we have security. And we didn't have to take it this far. Whatever the fuck he said. That's a man talking from such a place of security that he knows he can say whatever the fuck he wants to the people that are listening to him, because anything that he says they're going to eat up, and then they go and do the action, and he's just like, hey, well, I was speaking out on both sides of my asshole, so when I did that, I was just, I wasn't telling them to do something. I was just telling them, your freedom's being taken away and you need to do something about it. That's all.
Sometimes you lose, and sometimes there's strategic retreat. If your goal is to convince people or to do right by this country, it is peaceful, persuasive, and resourceful. The solution to the crisis is not insurrection and violence. None at all. All that will do will bolster the security state, give them more power. But, there's a lot of people who just don't care. They think I'm wrong. They tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I am not.
You are wrong. You're 100% wrong. You've been wrong throughout the last 53 minutes of me fucking talking about you. You've been wrong basically every step of the way. Tim Pool does not know what he's talking about when it comes to the military. Tim Pool does not know what he Tim Pool does not know what he knows. Tim Pool does not know what he knows. Does not know what he's talking about when it comes to security. Tim Pool doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to rules of engagement. Tim Pool doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to a chain of command. Tim Pool doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to basically understanding the dumb shit that is going on around the country that he has advocated for, pushed, egged on, however you want to say it. He has been an integral part of making this shit happen. And he's trying to back away from it while still holding on to it like a little string. That string's either going to snap and hit you in the face, which I hope it fucking does, or it's going to pull you back in. And either way, it's going to be a glorious fucking death of Tim Pool.
Wrong.
And I mean that
look at what happened
ideologically.
And look at the result. 25,000 National Guardsmen locking the whole place down.
Yeah.
That load of good that did. Taking a building won't change anything.
Ideology.
You need to win over the hearts and minds of the people through peaceful, persuasive, and resourceful rhetoric and discussions, and it's tough. It's not easy. A lot of people are saying, yeah, but we're being censored and things like that. I know. You have to, it's an uphill battle. It's difficult. But that's why discipline and strategy are so important. If people really are planning this stuff, all they would be doing is hurting themselves. But you know what? The Trump supporters, I think, have recognized this. And that's why if you go to, like, say, the Donald.win, they're saying, we're not going to these things. We won't fall for it. Because they know it would be bad for them. It's
we
like
won't fall for it.
counter.
Like, the conspiracy theories have gotten to such a point that they're, like, spinning in on themselves. Like, they think that the shit that they planned is a plot by the government to like arrest them or something. You planned this shit. Like you've been trying to get this shit to happen, and now you're like, well, no, don't go because they'll arrest you. It's a ploy. They can't figure it out. They're so wrapped up in conspiracies that they can't figure out what the fuck to do.
That's their only path.
Which way to go?
We are no longer living in the 1700s. It is fifth generational warfare. It is propagandistic. It is information. It is culture. I said it a million times, but you get the point. California Governor Gavin Newsom last week announced that he was deploying 1,000 California National Guard troops to help protect the state capitol, in addition to the already large numbers of law enforcement officers and security measures expected to be in effect. Quote, in light of events in our nation's capital last week, California is taking important steps to protect public safety at the state capitol and across the state, Newsom said in a statement. Our State Operations Center is actively working with federal, state, and local law enforcement partners in assessing threats and sharing intelligence and information to ensure those disgraceful actions are not repeated here. And you know what? I'm glad they're doing it. I am. I do not believe the National Guard is going to turn. It's going to be an inside attack. There may be some crazies. Okay, fine. They're vetting them. I think the National Guard's going to come out. They're going to do their duty. They're going to follow orders. And I think, for the most part, nothing will happen. At least I hope so. Because sometimes people plot some crazy stuff thinking it helps, and all it does is make everything worse. And the last thing we need now is instability and chaos. So I certainly hope. I hope nothing happens. But take a look at this. Not the B. Welcome to Fort Biden. Photos of our nation's capital turned armed encampment.
I might not. It actually makes somewhat of a kind of good point on that, and unfortunately I was gone because I wanted to clip this out, but maybe maybe we'll clip it. I will leave that in.
Is a site. It's basically saying it's so absurd it should be considered satirical, but it's not. They say there are certain moments that simply cannot be adequately captured by a photograph. A visceral emotion that refuses to be confined within a rectangle and 2 dimensions. A sunset. A child's first smile. You passed out on the bathroom floor your sophomore year in college, which totally did not happen as far as anyone can prove. Haha. What is going on in our...
unless you're Caitlyn Bennett and you let out a fucking 4-foot turd onto your own leg.
Our nation's capital is one of those moments. And I expect our national hangover is going to be a doozy. As I was riding home on the metro, excitedly flipping through the shots I'd taken to note which ones I'd like to use for this piece, I began going back and forth looking for the ones I thought I had taken. Oh, they were all there. The pictures I took were faithfully rendered to my phone's onboard memory, but much of the impact remained behind. Or I'm just making elaborate excuses for not being a very good photographer. It didn't help that there wasn't much to see other than fencing. So much fencing. I could not get close to anything. Pretty much the entire government complex, the whole mall, the Capitol, side buildings, roads, everything was fenced off. We've all seen the media shots we've been provided. Soldiers milling about the steps of the Capitol and the like. I'm going to show you the periphery, what regular people see, and try to give you some idea of the scale of what is going on, because it goes far beyond protecting a few buildings. This is looking west towards the Washington Monument. I did not walk all the way to the Lincoln Memorial, in part because so many side streets were fenced off.
Hey, I've been there.
Wasn't even sure if it was practical, but I understand the fencing went the length of the National Mall, about 2.5 miles in all.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have an armed insurrection and people continue to make threats of violence that have to be taken seriously. You get a 7-foot tall fence, and it looks like a... I don't know if his camera's on a tripod or if he's like holding it up like this, but it looks like I don't know, it looks like a, because if this were 8 feet right here, this is like just over that. So I'd say it's like a 7-foot tall fence. That's what happens. Yeah. When you really need security, you get a good fence.
These photos are shocking and
These photos are kind of
unprecedented.
shitty, actually.
They're really scared about something. Look at this picture.
For
those that are listening, I'll just describe it. It shows all of the roads around D.C. blocked off.
Damn,
massive portions. Homes, businesses, offices closed. If you want to enter this area, you have to provide evidence.
Way to go, jackass. You helped with that. You helped with that, Tim.
An occupation.
You helped make that happen, dude.
You know,
congratulations.
If only
bud.
Donald Trump invoked the Insurrection Act during the George Floyd riots, then I guess the media would have defended him too, right? No, obviously, of course.
No. No, because they weren't, storming the fucking Capitol and killing people. I think more people died in this one attack than through, I don't know, months of the George Floyd protests. I would have to actually look into that fact, because that might be a little sus. This is called an LMTV. Lightweight multi-purpose transportation vehicle. I figured that one out on my own.
Of course not. Michael Tracy writes,
I think that's what
media
it stands for,
cheers DC under military occupation. He goes and in one
Michael
photo shows
Tracy.
TV crews saying TV media is clearly settled on a dramatic backdrop image. And he says, question,
Yeah.
Does anyone with a media job find this situation to be worthy of some further inquiry? Or in other words, worthy of questioning the premise of why such an extravagantly intensive military presence is allegedly necessary? Is it
Because the people that are actually covering this, these folks up here that are covering this, they understand that there was an attempted insurrection and 5 people died, including a police officer. Okay? A woman was shot in the neck, and a terrorist was shot in the neck and killed. And I think her dying words were like, "I'm okay," or some shit. Or, "I don't feel so good." Should have been it might as well have been goddamn Allahu Akbar, for all I care. It doesn't fucking matter. But I think that's kind of what they're focused on. And yeah, they want that dramatic backdrop because they need to elicit some kind of emotion. When you're doing something visual, Tim, you have to elicit some emotion into people so that they keep their eyeballs on it. That's why you want to engage their brain. You have to engage the brain. That's why music is important. Jump cuts are important in certain videos. If you watch, who was it? Like Ali A, or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. A lot of big smiles and yelling and fucking enthusiasm and jump cuts and moving around and all kinds of stuff just to keep attention of his audience, which was a bunch of kids, right? That's how the visual arts work. That's how video production works, bro. You should kind of fucking know
to the scale
this.
of the purported
I said I wasn't going to watch this whole
video.
video.
I'm
probably going to watch this whole video.
Exactly.
This guy is dumb
been
as
adequately
shit.
probed to determine whether it is grounded in reality. Already a bunch of purported threats initially trumpeted across the media with the usual 5-alarm fire hysteria have dissipated in short order. So there is perhaps some reason for doubt in that regard. I think it's media hysterics.
Doubt.
Security theater. They're panicking and they're scared of their own shadows. And so...
Oh, a right-winger saying anyone is scared of their own shadow? Right-wingers are the most terrified people on the planet. Right-wingers are scared of everything, dude. Name a boogeyman. Give a buzzword. Guarantee you. Right-wingers terrified. Willing to go buy another gun. 100%. It's true. Like, they fearmonger. They're just like fear. And if you have a rational brain, you just think about it and you say, no, that's fucking dumb. I don't need to be scared of that. Shut up. We'll tell them to stop doing the thing and we'll be gravy. But no, you keep telling them to do the thing that's bad, that scares everybody. You dumb fuck.
Now they're wasting our resources in panic over what? I have no idea. Michael says, instead of applying a modicum of skepticism to this gigantic show of military force, much of which appears to be security theater in its purest form, our vaunted media is doing little other than cheering it on. I made a joke on Twitter about trusting the...
Remember when CNN, who was it, like Anderson Cooper? It wasn't Anderson Cooper. I think it was Brian Williams was saying that our glorious weapons, our missiles, were going into Iran, or Iraq. I said that so weird. It's so hard to say them properly when you've been saying them improperly for so many years. Iran or Iraq or Yemen or wherever the fuck they were going. It's like these beautiful missiles. Where the fuck were you on that one, man? Because that was undue security for the nation. But you're willing to, talk shit about. You're willing to not only talk shit about the mission that these soldiers are doing, but you're willing to talk shit about the soldiers themselves and insult their intelligence and basically treat them as if they're these dumbass one stroke kind of mind robots. Tim, you're the asshole. And that's coming from the fucking military, dude. Step the fuck back into your lane. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You are a commentator. Stay in your lane, dude. Stay in your lane and you'll be fine. Right now, all you're doing is making yourself look like a dumbass. You're trying to make people think that this security is unwarranted when it 100% is, and you're part of the reason why it's warranted. If you think for a second that I don't take you downplaying the security of the nation's capital during this particular inauguration as a serious security threat, you're fucking wrong. You, Tim Pool, are a security threat. Your rhetoric causes people to be security threats. Get your shit together. Stop egging people on. Stop trying to undermine American democracy. Stop insulting soldiers all the fucking time. And most importantly, just shut the fuck up.
The government in times of emergency to keep us apprised to the current nature of the threat and to give up emergency powers when the threat is averted.
I'm going to go to the end of this video and see.
And keep the federal jurisdiction things about them. And I'll probably say,
let's see.
Plan. What do we get? More media. As Congress wants to know how much white supremacy has penetrated the military. You see the game. I was on Parler. I'm not a white supremacist. In fact, I despise them.
Eat shit. I'm pretty sure you'd suck the dick of any white supremacist that, came into your vicinity. So, this is extremely important. I just thought of a sweet costume. Carry around like a jug or a pitcher. Just be Archer. Just anytime someone comes up to you, like, what do you? Just start drinking. Start drinking your Bloody Mary. If they're like, just raise your hand. Hold on, almost done. That'd be a hard one to pull off, though. You have to be like LA Beast or something. All right. So, another thing Tim Pool does not understand about the military. So, white supremacy or race supremacy has no place in the military at all. Gangs have no place in the military. Gang activity has no place in the military. Extremist views don't have any place in the military, and yeah, that's basically it. You will be cracked down upon. And this is what I was saying before. Social media will ruin your military career. White supremacy is just as bad as advocating for like MS-13 if you're wearing that uniform. All right. So if you have if you go into the military, and let's say these two chaps down here, these two folks, these two little dots down there, they go in to get all their tattoos checked, right? Because a lot of the time when you go overseas, you have to I forget what it's called, but you go through this whole big process where you get your picture taken, profile and face, and you'd give out all the descriptions of you and like your life, basically, of like how to identify you if you've been captured or separated from your unit or whatever. And in that, you have to describe your tattoos. So let's say these two guys go in, they're like, okay, well, we got to have somebody like transcribe all these tattoos. And guy one right here has a tiny little swastika right up on his shoulder. Just little swastika. Whoa, you might have to cover, you're either going to have to cover that up or you're going to get kicked out. And you're probably going to be investigated. So let's say that guy over here, number 2, has a clear like MS-13, a known symbol for MS-13, like over on his shoulder, or same spot, exact same thing, same. Let's even say same race and everything. Yeah, you're going to be investigated. You're likely to get kicked out, and you could be, thrown in jail if you've committed any criminal activity. It doesn't matter, because neither of those have any place. In the military, they break down team cohesion. They will break down how the team works and cause a rift, and that essentially destroys us as a fighting force. Okay, so Parler, being known to harbor, white supremacists and extreme right ideas and stuff like that, yeah, it's really good that the military would monitor those individuals that were using Parler. And the fact that they have GPS data and all kinds of shit, like I think you had to give your driver's license and your social security number to get verified. Like, who the fuck does that? How dumb are you? And if you were in the military and you did that, you are so goddamn dumb. Just, you know what? Take off the uniform, march on over to the enemy. I'm pretty sure they'd be glad to have you. You're a valuable resource with your stupidity.
To a great degree. I also don't like white nationalists. I despise the ideology as well. Sure. It is overt identitarianism, and it's archaic garbage. Yet they would say everybody on Parler is white supremacy. Is that the implication? Yes.
No.
That's the name of the game.
No, hold on. Hold on. Did you see how he didn't give any time to answer the question for his audience? So he doesn't let his audience think at all. If he let them think for a second, they might be like, well, they might come to their own conclusion. So he goes, yes. No, not everybody that used Parler is a white supremacist. A lot of people that used Parler were left-wing trolls, and people like me who might have trolled Parler or something like that. I wouldn't do it because you had to give up so much of your personal information just to get on there, and I already give all that shit to Google. I hate big tech as much as you do, bud. YouTube.
Ideologies and ideas they don't like classical liberalism, with white supremacy. That's why they talk about multiracial whiteness.
What?
That's their plan. And you know what? For the most part, it seems to actually work. Or I should say, there's enough people who have no idea what's going on, who just believe it, who eat it up, hear these stories, and roll with it. I gotta ask, man, is this? At what point do people just snap and say, "What is this?"
At what point do you actually educate yourself on literally anything that's going on around you in order to be able to speak on it? Like there's nothing in this video that you've actually been correct about, I don't think, except for that part where I was gone and he might have said something okay. At what point does your audience go, what? I've been listening to this guy for years? I gave him money? What the fuck? Tim Pool, well...
Wake up!
Never mind.
I'm not here to play the game of the left saying, wake up, the Trump is a billionaire, or the right saying, wake up, the Hillary is a crony, crooked, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to say, wake up. There are 25,000 National Guardsmen occupying D.C. Ask some questions. I don't care if you're on the left or the right. If you're on the left, you should be worried that Donald Trump still commands the National Guard. And if you're on the...
Donald Trump does actually command the National Guard. However, that lawful order thing that I was saying, again, Tim, but, bro, look, I know you would get made fun of if you tried to join the military, but that vitriol doesn't have to be selective, like specifically put into, you know, expanding your misunderstanding of how the military operates. So, like, they're not all robots. Trump doesn't have a button for every soldier to say, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. You underestimate the competence of the leadership that is directly under Trump. These people are very dedicated to the country. If I have displayed any modicum of dedication to the country within this like hour or so that I've been doing this, that pales in comparison to what a 4-star general or an admiral or a ship captain or a fleet commander or an air wing commander or even a goddamn colonel or a private somewhere just off the boat has, like, the dedication that they have for this country. Tim Pool, you don't understand how the military works. Either go down to the goddamn career center and sign up so that your dumb ass can get fucking educated, or shut the fuck up about it. Please, dude. It's embarrassing. We're gonna move on. I'm done with Tim Pool. I'm done dealing with this stump done of a bitch. Yeah, FBI vetting troops. I wanted to check in with the young conservative brother. Are they even still around? Let's see where they're at. 3.5. Jeez, dude. Yeah. You know what people should be really worried about? Actually, not worried about. This is kind of funny. Side note. Trump he wants to pardon Lil Wayne. Like, cause Lil Wayne like sucked his dick for a little bit. He's like, yeah, I met President Trump while I was high as fuck and on some lean at the White House, and you know, I said he was cool and put the MAGA hat on, so I get a presidential pardon. I wouldn't put it past Lil Wayne to just be like hustling the fuck out of the president. That would be pretty fucking sweet, dude. Honestly, if Lil Wayne hustled the president into a pardon. Hustled a pardon out of the president, I should say. I'm sorry, I'm white. That would be fucking dope. Oh, I didn't want to subscribe to these fucking stupid sacks of shit. I wanted to go to their stupid fucking channel. Fuck these kids. Antifa ambushed at the Capitol, dressed up as... leaked video of Twitter CEO saying he will. This is not your content. Oh my god. You guys, have you guys even been on? Matt Gates explodes under. Dude, you guys. These guys are literally just stealing content constantly. None of these videos are theirs. Oh my god. Let's see what this is. I want to see what this is. Oh, eat shit, asshole. They straight up just stole. Yeah, I get kicked off for a week for playing some Russian music from a bear video about brushing your teeth. These motherfuckers steal content out the ass, and all of a sudden they're still up. They got 3,500 subs. Whatever. I appreciate all of my subs. I gained some. I got over 250, 253 now. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you very much. If it weren't for my subs and the people that watch me, this channel wouldn't exist. I mean, straight up. Your eyeballs are my eyeballs, motherfucker.
You're a fucking traitor to your country! Yeah! You're a fucking traitor! Fucking traitor!
Oh, dude. As soon as that dude grabbed that, I would have come straight down with the baton right on his hand. The goal isn't to break their hand. The goal is to hurt them. Your job here is to essentially like hurt people. You're not trying to disable or injure them, but you just want to hurt them. And that sounds kind of weird, like, oh, well, they just shoot them if they want to hurt them. No. You want to make a point, because if you're talking some dumb shit and I just straight slap you across the face, I kind of made a point. Or if you grab on me and I fucking, bend your arm back and push you to the ground, I kind of made my point. I didn't have to injure you. I just kind of hurt you. You're just like, ow, ow, slap on the wrist, ow, baton to the arm, ow. Just imagine like 100 of these extendable batons going out. These aren't extendable batons. They aren't asps.
Let's go. Hey, let's go.
Woefully unprepared. They did the right thing by pulling back. These guys, good on them for. One of the things I don't give a shit about young conservative brothers, because all they do is steal content. Anyway, one of the things that the police should have focused on was actually like spraying people in the mask, because once you spray it in the mask, they have to keep it on their person at some point. Either that or they have to take it off, and once they take it off, they have free reign of their entire face. And if they spray them in the mask and they get that breath and they take it off, and they're just going to be like, that means you can spray them again, and they're going to get a double shot of that shit in their, right in their lungs. They train Antifa Marxist. Oh my god. Hold on. Why do you steal content? That's what I want to know. This pisses me off to no end. Cause like I get what they're trying to do, but they're not like a clip channel. This isn't like clips of shit. I know they're expecting to make, make a buck. A lot of these helmets are like kind of one size fits all, so they're really pretty awkward. But these police should be pushing back.
There's very pepper bullets. Pepper bullets.
Yeah,
no,
pop them.
Push me.
Pop them in the legs. Snap him in the shins with your fucking PR-24, man. Your baton. Just imagine if they were like Antifa or BLM. These cops would be beating the fuck out of them. Hold on. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's 2021, right? What? Who the fuck wears a visor? Who wears a visor? This dude has a MAGA visor. This dude is stuck in like 1996. The pop collar, the visor. He's got a MAGA visor. Oh my god, this is literally 1996 manifested itself into a Trump supporter and is now attacking the Capitol. Holy shit. Jesus. Jesus on the Buddha. Party law and order, folks. Oh, let's see that again. See? Bear spray, dude. So, all right. So the difference between the red and the white spray that's going on, because they're both pepper sprays. I'm pretty sure. Well, let's see. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking of CS gas. So, the pepper spray that the police are using is likely a water-based spray. Okay, and a water-based spray obviously is a significantly more. Is significantly easier to get off of the body and get out of the eyes and out of the irritated areas than something like the bear spray that the guy was using, which the red stuff, which is oil based and it's meant to stick into the irritated areas like your lungs, your mouth, your eyes, your ears, stuff like that. And that just kind of goes to show that these police were a little unmatched, and that cop that punched the guy in the face, that was pretty fucking sweet, but he fucked everybody else up, because really he kind of should have waited till the guy was closer so he could have actually punched him in the face, because nothing really happened of that other than these guys got a bunch of bear spray. Dude, all these assholes do is steal content. I mean, it's kind of great that I can watch all these. I can watch all these new videos, but it's not cool that they constantly fucking steal content. I'm gonna Crazy AOC says southern states are suppressed states. Okay. comment on it. She had a lot to say in this video. She went on and on and on in this video. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Hold on.
That's what we gotta do.
Dude. Like they did. You stole this from the fucking Blaze, dude. Holy shit.
We gotta organize. And I think what we saw in Georgia.
Holy fucking shit, guys. Alright, let's see what these dumb shits have to say about him, this cunt bag getting impeached. Let's see.
We are the Young Conservative Brothers.
Audio's a little off, but you don't have to do it fresh
that
every
white
time.
People can't talk about race, the system, and the government, and ensuring that the free speech can still keep going.
And if you are new here, don't forget to click down, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Get new.
Don't forget to turn on your mic.
Videos when we upload them. So today we're pretty much getting into House Democrats, pretty known as Nancy Pelosi, is pretty much trying to put an article of impeachment against President Trump on Monday.
Again.
Trying to impeach him again.
And then the sad thing, this one might even go through. Since the House Republicans can even go on this, they just need 2/3 for it to happen.
So what's sad about this, they're trying to impeach him. You might ask, so why are they trying to impeach him for? They're trying to impeach him because they said that he incited the whole entire ambush on the Capitol.
Which you can see from...
He was so close. He was so close. He was about to say he incited the violent insurrection. That's what it was, dude. You were almost there. Is it a trick of the camera, or do they have freakishly large hands? I think they have really large hands. Honestly, if I were going to gauge the I don't know, stature of these two individuals, I would say they're over 6 foot and fairly athletic. Well, they're white bread as shit, and well, definitely have some kind of money. I mean, not enough that they went to a charter school, because this is what they turned into, but
from our previous videos that did not happen.
No.
It was Antifa, and it was Black Lives Matter mostly, and they were the ones that planned this whole entire attack on the Capitol and try to blame it on the Trump supporters while they were there.
Oh my God. Did you really just fucking say that?
They're trying to impeach him. You might ask, so why are they trying to impeach him for? They're trying to impeach him because they said that he incited the whole entire ambush on the Capitol.
Which you can see from our previous videos that did not happen.
No.
It was Antifa, and it was Black Lives Matter mostly, and they were the ones that...
Guys, all you did, you stole a bunch of fucking videos and put them on your channel, and now all you're saying is that no, those weren't Trump supporters, that's Antifa. This is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. You didn't even create your own videos. What even is this shit? Like, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. This This is you guys, like, what do I even say? How do I even address this? Like, what? You guys are literally the dumbest fucks on the internet. Yeah, we're doing that. You guys are literally the dumbest fucks on the internet. Like, holy shit. I can't even watch this anymore. All you guys do is steal content. Oh, I want to listen to some music, but I can't. Because this is actually kind of surprising. Americans hate each other more than elites. We're going to go into some cooking here in a second. I also have to use the latrine, so I'm gonna do that. There was something else that I really, really wanted to watch that I watched earlier. Infuriating. Mentally over. Okay, I'll watch Donut Operator. I am going to I'm gonna go ahead and put on, you know what, I'll just put this on because I have to use the bathroom real quick.
This video is sponsored by Zydex. They just sent me a laptop. Yes, they make really rad laptops. They made me a police car computer last year, and it is great. So not only do they make amazing custom desktop computers, they also do some pretty badass gaming laptops. Check them out at zydax.com/donutoperator. What do you guys know about sidewalks? Sidewalk! You all remember the video I made the other day called the most frustrating anti-cop idiot I've ever seen. Sidewalk! Sidewalk! Well, I think he was the most frustrating anti-cop idiot I've ever seen until the video that I found on Mr. Andy Knows YouTube. We're gonna PG language this video because YouTube has not been letting me get by with a fucking thing. While old Mr. Candle Company's CEO was an annoying poopsicle, he didn't do much more than assault our ears for 15 minutes and make himself look like a jackwagon in front of God and everyone. Also, his girlfriend...
Oh, goodness. Where do we begin? Puppy dog. My puppy dog's blanket. It reminds me of him because he's... Maybe we'll look at some puppy dogs. The fact that this dude got this shit from Andy No and follows Andy No, and if you don't know who Andy No is, he's basically just a right-wing provocateur. He likes being an asshole. I'm pretty sure he's basically like a Nazi. I'm pretty sure. Don't do. He sucks. Urchin Quay. Okay, let's see.
Friend is still a Backpfeifengeschichte. Something like that. The video we are about to watch, though,
let's see what he has.
people
I've never watched
with
this guy
police
before.
Procedures almost gave a mentally ill man permanent nap time with their booger flicking, window licking antics. Guess where this video we're about to watch took place at? That's right. Portland, the taint of America. I would say the butthole of America, but most of Southern California already holds that title. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what's happening as opposed to what these oxygen thieves are
Bro, you should go to Louisiana.
Screaming about.
It's
you see,
the
after
gooch
this
of
video
America.
came out, the Portland Police Bureau released an official statement as to what happened. Let's start the video.
Don't push me. I'm gonna run into people.
Go across
Don't
the
push
street.
me.
Go across the street.
What don't you want us to see? Why are you pushing us?
It's not that we don't want you guys to see anything.
Yeah,
It's
that's
that you guys
exactly
are
what it is.
interfering.
Don't touch me. Do not touch me.
It's called keeping a perimeter.
I don't consent to your
The police are in the right.
They're saying that the police don't want them to see something because the police are probably up to no good. Remember, Blue Man Bad. Before we get too far into this video and all of our brain cells are sucked into the black hole that is the cesspool of Portland and their back assward thinking, let's go over what really happened. Well, starting off what really happened and what the police are hiding from them. On Friday, January 15th, 2021 at about 1 p.m.
This dude is just treating like anybody that questions the police as just a complete fucking asshole. You're allowed to question the police. Go ahead and question the police. Question the military. Question the police. Just like the other guys that the guy that went up and was like, "Hey, why are you guys here?" to those two National Guard members. Yeah, he was totally in the right to do that. And they had every right to push him back and be like, "Fuck off." But someone like this is just like, "Oh, well, fuck these people."
Central Precinct officers responded to a welfare check call outside of an apartment building in the 300 block of Southwest 4th Avenue. The call indicated that a man had jumped from a second-story window of the building, probably because police pushed him from the second-story building, as we all know. He jumped from the building, pulled out a knife, and began waving it around at people and cars going by. Why would police show up to that and try to protect the public?
Dude, this is so cringy. Like,
am I right? How dare they go to that call? The 30-year-old man showed arriving officers his knife, held it to his neck, and said he would kill himself if they came any closer. An enhanced crisis intervention team officer began a dialogue with the man in crisis, while other officers attempted to clear the area, hoping to reduce the stress of the situation. The officers learned that the man was schizophrenic and extremely paranoid. He not only threatened to kill himself, he said he would hurt others as well. Rather than rush in, exacerbating a dangerous situation, officers slowed down, kept their distance, and exercised patience and de-escalation. Guy with a knife threatening people, he takes one step towards you, you can shoot him. That's what we call awful but lawful. The Portland police, on the other hand, set up a crisis intervention team, didn't rush in, and tried to talk the guy down. He's schizophrenic, very paranoid, and he has a knife. Guess what's gonna make the situation worse? That's right, a dozen screaming people across the street from him. But hey, Portland. Continuing,
God, I hate this characterization of Portland, because Portland, Oregon is actually like a decent place to be. It's not perfect. Nobody's painting it as a utopia. The only people that paint it as a utopia are right-wing dipshits like this that want to strawman the left. Like, yeah, these people exist all over the fucking place. I've worked in security. This asshole has worked, supposedly he's worked in fucking law enforcement. You should know that these people exist regardless of where the fuck you are. So all you're doing is alienating an area based off of a group of people that exist across the entire world. Like, fuck off. This dude sucks, man. I avoided his videos for a reason. He's literally no better than the people that are wrong in this video. Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Get out of the goddamn street and mind your own fucking business.
That's not that God! Oh my God! Are you fucking kidding me? They said that's a real face.
This is why this is what I was talking about with the Tim Pool videos. It pays to understand other people's professions, especially when those professions have your life and the lives of others in consequence. So when you go to the doctor, it's important to understand that they are doing things to you in order to make you feel better. Just like the police are doing things to you or other people in order to control them. Like, you just have to chill out and stand back. Like, I don't know. Right wingers kind of understand this, where they just stand back and let it fucking happen. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a fair assessment of like just right wingers, because we have, well, World Star Hip Hop is just an amalgam of shit. So, well, let's see.
Let's leave it right there for a minute. These piece of shit police officers sicked a dog on them, shot them. You heard.
First of all, you don't know who was saying that. That could have been the police officer. It was totally unclear.
Heard the pop.
That's not that God!
Oh, wait a minute. You and I are reasonable adults that want context without screaming in the middle of the street. It's weird. The negotiation lasted for an hour and a half before two separate crowds of protesters began showing up to the north and south. Some in the crowd began chanting, and one...
You know, it's a great idea. Let's alienate the people in the cities from the rural population. This is a great channel. I love this.
Even started using a bullhorn. The extra noise and distraction made it impossible for the specially trained officers to speak to the man. Officers implored the crowd to stop interfering, but their energy only increased. Makes you pretty angry, huh, when they're only trying to help this man. Oh, but...
Yeah, it makes me pretty fucking angry all the time when this shit happens. Because this happens all the fucking time. And it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Yeah, you shouldn't do this. You should be there to help. But the police have such a shit reputation in so many places that this is the result. This face just says, "Oh, I'm unwilling to face the consequences of my own actions." Oof. Okay.
Wait, listen to this part. Even when the suicidal man's mother arrived and begged the crowd to stop, most in the crowd continued. Some in the crowd began threatening the officers. A supervisor requested resources citywide, and all available officers responded from north and east precincts. This caused a major resource drain citywide, and all but the highest priority calls had to wait. The officers had to don helmets and face shields to protect themselves as they stood in front of a hostile crowd.
Hey, it's really similar to something. You know, that's odd. Let me go into Donut Operator's. Let's go to your channel. Let's see, what do you have to say about the insurrection? I am Antifa. Seen. Capital. Let's see what he has to say about this real quick, and then I'm gonna go into something else because this is really kind of pissing me off. If they don't condemn this... Alright, I'm not gonna watch this. This is boring. I'm not gonna watch somebody's fucking shitty... Thing is, Donut Operator can go fuck himself. He's clearly a... Hold on, I'm pretty sure this was
Donut here. Welcome to part 2 of Capitol Riot Review. Leo recap Capitol Review. Yesterday, I had quite a few people in the comments saying I'm not a patriot and I support tyranny. because I don't support the beating the shit out of police officers while breaking into the United States Capitol. Pound sand, kick rocks, 69 a porcupine, go away. Thanks for the views though. Part 2.
69 a porcupine. I can live with that.
Last week there were a couple of videos.
I can dig
a lot
that,
of people
bro.
talking about how the Capitol Police just stepped aside and let some of the rioters/protesters walk right into
Let's
the
see
Capitol.
how much he agrees with me. Or I agree with him, rather. Yeah, they pretty much just step right the fuck aside. However, comma space, you don't see how many people are behind the camera. Okay, yeah.
I don't have the full information on what was up with that. As I said in the last video, it's been less than a week. Like I said in the
That's pretty sus, dude. Okay, January. Dude, no, fuck off. You have the full information. You know what was going on. Fuck you. You support this shit. Eat my ass. Red look kind of sus.
We do know that the Capitol Police Chief resigned because of very piss poor planning on their part. Not to take away from the officers who were actually on the front lines. They did what they had to do with what they had available, especially the officers that we're about to talk about. One thing that threw me off were the different types of videos being taken around the Capitol property, how different they were. In one video, you have Capitol officers standing aside and letting hundreds of people into the Capitol building, while other videos show rioters literally crushing an officer and pepper spraying police. That first video threw me off pretty bad. I was like, why would officers do that? Some of the people you see walking by are some of the people you saw in those famous photos from the House floor, like Mega Airsoft Zip Tie Man here. I got to looking at the video while protesters were walking in Capitol Hill, and look, standing back there's like 100 officers. There's a giant line of cops who could easily stop all these people from entering the building. I don't know for sure, but what pops into my head is they were protecting the congressman who...
If those protesters had been with that line of cops, had those protesters been like, you know, BLM or I hate to retract to the BLM, but like, had they been anything other than like pro-Trump supporters, yeah, they would have had the shit kicked out of them. They would have probably been beaten to death. That's about it.
Who were evacuating and leaving the doors open as a diversion, like giving them a little bit of the building so the talking heads could get out. It could be something else or piss poor communication. I don't know. It's food for thought in the comments below. The second video looks like it's in the underbelly of the Capitol building, and you can clearly tell the officers were putting up a fight and trying not to let the rioters have 1 inch of that hallway. At one point, you can see a rioter pull out some bear mace and start spraying cops with it. That's a tiny hallway with hundreds of people in it. I guess the rioters/protesters, whatever you want to call them, I've never heard of pepper spray cross-contamination. It sucks. That's why you don't normally use pepper spray.
What a dumbass. Like, dude, airflow. The air's flowing one way in a hallway. It could be back at you. Like, get the fuck out.
It gets everywhere. Absolutely no one was happy in the tunnel on this day. Speaking of standing your ground, doing what you know is right, and being an all-around general badass, we have Officer Eugene Goodman. I know I make fun of the sheepdog thing quite a bit. Like, you never go full sheepdog.
Never go full
sheepdog. But Mr. Goodman here was literally a sheepdog. He herded an entire riot. I love this video. Starts off with Eugene already having discarded his baton and quite ready to provide the crowd with some lead deterrent. He collects himself, grabs his baton, and purposefully leads the mob away from the evacuating congressman.
Okay. Alright. So, this dude was actually leading people away, because... Oopsie. Because when I first saw this video, I was like, why is he just letting these people in? No, he's leading them away from something worthwhile.
And where exactly does he lead
He
them?
knows
Right
where
into
he's
more
going
friends with guns and
backwards.
batons.
That's wild. And he leads them into
You know what
more
they say,
officers.
I'm not
That's
trapped
actually
in here
pretty
with
fucking
you.
wild.
You're
That's
trapped
pretty
in here
sweet.
with me.
Sweet.
Thanks to Protect and Serve user, not Loserish, for that little meme there. One more thing that I would like to thank Officer Eugene Goodman for is, at 186,000 upvotes, Reddit actually liked police for one day. More like social media, May to December 2020, Fascist Pig, and January 2021.
Yeah, police kind of suck, or rather, policing in this country sucks ass. Our justice our justice system needs a reform, and this individual is a hero. He really is, because he exemplifies what the justice system should be. Fair and equal. He didn't kill anybody. He just did what was needed to be done and pulled them off to a different area. He reformed them, I guess you could say.
The hero we need. It was just like that one reporter who was on the House floor when the rioters started breaking in. He overheard a police officer who was evacuating them saying, "I bet they like us now." Boys, we had some characters in this whole debacle last week, and they're all in jail now. Let's start off with the Dingleberry leading the pack, chasing after Officer Goodman, Mr. Doug Jensen from Des Moines, Idaho. He was arrested by U.S. Marshals Saturday and faces 5 different charges. What about Mega Airsoft Zip Tie Guy? Remember the video we watched earlier of
I love the fact that he calls him Mega Airsoft Zip Tie Guy.
Standing aside as protesters entered the building. One individual looked very familiar to me from behind as he was going up some stairs. It wasn't until later when I started seeing pictures come out on the Senate floor that I realized who this individual was. Kevlar gloves, knockoff cry pants, plate carrier with no plates, Punisher patch, thin blue line patch, enhance, 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 Black Rifle Coffee Company hat. Mother of God, Matt Best raided Capitol Hill and streamed Call of Duty Warzone on the same day. Upon further investigation, if you look at other pictures from inside Capitol Hill that day, enhance, 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 Evan Hafer. Super serial though. There were people on the internet for a couple of days trying to say that was Matt. Oldwish.com airsoft bro here is 30-year-old Eric Munchell from Tennessee. He was arrested not long after and charged with a couple felonies, just like the waterhead from the last story. Buffalo Viking Man. He was a familiar face during the weirdest raid of a government building I've ever seen.
He's a big bag of shit.
Jacob Chansley. Oh, and guess what? He was arrested and charged with some felonies too. Turns out he's like a shaman or something, and he has to eat organic food, and he wasn't eating, and so a judge ordered U.S. Marshals to give him organic food.
Honestly, the best way to get anything you want in prison is to go on a hunger strike. It won't get you what you want, and it won't make you like particularly desirable to the rest of the inmates, but it'll help you out.
All right then.
Super dry.
Can't believe they let him carry a spear in there, to be completely honest. The guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's
Well, tonight, Des
dais.
Moines resident Doug Jensen is getting ready.
The guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's dais. Don't charge this man. He was obviously taking it to fix up a home for his popular TV show Fixer Upper. Who in the world would steal Nancy Pelosi's dais and walk it right out the front door of the Capitol building?
It was a lectern.
I think you already know the answer to that. It's Florida Man. This is Adam Johnson of Manatee County, Florida. He was arrested by federal marshals a couple...
Manatee County. Oh, that's awesome. Manatee County. I didn't even think there was a Manatee County.
A couple of days ago, and also charged with a couple felonies. The guy in Pelosi's office with his feet up on the desk. Guess what he was? Arrested. Mr. Richard Barnett of Arkansas caught 3 federal charges. The funny thing about him and Florida Man is they totally thought they could throw off federal authority.
Oh my God. That dude looks like the... Dude looks like the... Hold on. We're gonna go to it. We're gonna go to Google. Oh God. Oh, it's literally the same thing. It is literally the same thing. These two pictures. Holy snap. Oh, if they ever load. Oh, if it can ever do its thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, if you do your thing. Oh. Are you
Hi
fucking
everyone,
kidding me?
Donut here. Welcome to part 2 of Capitol Riot Review.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's the internet, baby.
Guess what? He was arrested and charged with some felonies too. Turns out he's like a shaman or something, and he has to eat organic food, and he wasn't eating, and so a judge ordered U.S. Marshals to give him organic food. All right then. Can't believe they let him carry a spear in there, to be completely honest. The guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's dais.
President Doug Jensen is
Fuck
getting
off.
ready.
The guy who stole Nancy Pelosi's dais. Don't charge this man. He was obviously taking it to fix up a home for his popular TV show Fixer Upper. Who in the world would steal Nancy Pelosi's dais and walk it right out the front door of the Capitol?
It was a
building?
lectern.
I think you already know the answer to that. It's Florida man. This is Adam Johnson.
Wait
County,
for it.
Florida. He was arrested by federal marshals a couple of days ago and also charged with a couple felonies. The guy in Pelosi's office.
What? Anyway, fuck that guy. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna get at.
With his feet up on the desk. Guess what he was? Arrested. Mr. Richard Barnett of Arkansas caught 3 federal charges. The funny thing about him and Florida man is they totally thought they could...
Oh, for fuck's sake. It was right there. Yeah, well, you saw it. Hold on. Yeah. Right there. Worm lady. One and the same. One in the same. And the same? One and the same. Fuck them. Look at that worm dude. Anyway.
Could throw off federal authorities by shaving their beards, but it didn't work. Aaron Mostovsky was arrested. I don't know who that is either. I just wanted to be dramatic. You didn't really see him very much during the Donut News Network feed he did, but he's quite the character also, as you can see from this picture. There he is, dressed as a caveman, with a stolen police vest and riot shield, and a stick, standing in Capitol Hill, discussing politics with a guy who's holding a Confederate flag. Here we were thinking...
Yeah, if you hold a Confederate flag in your hand, go fuck yourself, because you're a traitor and you don't deserve to, consider yourself an American. That's all it is.
2021 couldn't get any weirder.
Get the fuck over it.
Turns out Mr. Mostovsky here is the son of a Kings County Supreme Court judge. He also ended up being charged with a couple of felonies. To be fair, I'm pretty sure he's coming down from a really gnarly acid trip right now and has no idea where he is.
Yeah.
Just look. Look at him. Where am I? Hello? Mom, can you come pick me up? I'm scared. Well, that's about all I got for you fine people today. There's probably going to be a part 3 about the female who got shot and killed. I think that's going to be its own video. Man, there's still a lot coming out of...
Excuse me, donut operator. I tried to put a bunch of words into one. Yeah. She was a terrorist, and she died like a terrorist. Hold on. We're not gonna watch this right now.
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today we have a pretty crazy shooting out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi everyone, Donut here. We got a pretty wild shooting that we're gonna break down.
We're not gonna watch that one right now. We're gonna watch them kicking, cause that's what we're about. We're about cooking. I wanted to do cooking with hoarders, but I'm I'm a hungry boy. What should I have to eat? I want to know. Rear trumps? What? Spice.